Hey, this is Scott. Thanks for checking out this video. It's been 17 years since I first started making football videos. And I started because as I was shooting, I would have parents and other people come up and ask me, why do you stand here? Why do you use this gear? How does this work? That's what started me making these videos. But back then I was using a flip camera and no audio, no microphones. So it's time to update these. In this video, I'm going to talk about my preferred shooting positions. I'm at a Big 12 college venue, but the rules and the theories and the thoughts apply whether I'm shooting any level of sport. So I've got three main positions I'm going to talk about: the end zone, the corner, and the sideline. So let's dive right into it. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to talk about field positions and where I prefer to shoot and why I shoot in different positions. The first thing I want to mention is you'll see these dotted lines. This is a Big 12 stadium, but pretty much any field is going to have this from high school on up. They might not have two lines, but if nothing else, stay behind the lines, regardless of what level of play it is. I know there are high school photographers that have access to the bench. I personally don't do that. I want to stay out of the way of the athletes, of the officials, of the coaches. So do what you can to stay behind the lines. At this stadium, there are two lines. You'll see a white line and a purple line. The white line is supposed to be for video people and the guys with the audio bowls. Purple line is for anybody else, but generally it depends on the venue and the team, but generally photographers can go up to the white line. Sometimes they'll ask us to come back to the purple line, but basically stay behind those lines. All right, let's start with probably my preferred shooting position, and that is between the yard markers and the hash marks. 10, 20, 30, 40, the yard markers are there. The hash marks are over here, and I like to be somewhere in the middle of those. From this position with a 400 or my 200 to 400, I can literally cover almost the entire field. As action's coming towards me, if the ball is on this hash mark, they're coming right at me. Even if it's on that other hash mark, I've got pretty much most of the field and the end zone covered from this position, with the exception of a small part of that corner of the end zone. The goalpost stanchion is blocking part of that corner, but there are times, if I'm shooting from right here in this shooting behind the line, I can still see that corner of the end zone. And there have been times where I've got photos in that corner of the end zone shooting behind the goalpost. Now I'm past the white line here, so you wouldn't want to shoot here, but this is why I prefer this position, because I've got so much real estate of the field that I can cover. So that's my number one preference in shooting positions. Let's check out the other two. Shooting position from the corner. And generally what I'll do is get on one side of the corner or the other. So I might get right here at the end of the goal line, or I might come over here, which is right down the sideline. I actually kind of prefer this spot because from here, I can see coaches on the sideline. I can see other players coming in and out really easy. And the nice thing about a position like this is I have literally the entire field with no obstructions, including that corner of the end zone. It's somewhat obstructed by the goalpost, but pretty much from just right inside the pylon, right down the end zone line or the sideline, I've got access to the entire field. Now, if the play is going to my left here, the shots aren't going to be as good, but I can get images from here of catches in that end zone or that corner of the end zone. I can get dives across the goal line because I'm shooting with a 200 to 400 f4 lens, a 70-200. Generally, those are my two lenses for action. And with that 400, I can get all the way to that side of the field. So this is one shooting position that I prefer. Let me go over and show you a different one. My least favorite shooting position, but equally as important as the other two, is right up here by the bench. Again, this is a Big 12 stadium, and so this is as far as the working media can go. Right here, the white line. Again, some venues, it's the second line, but basically in this area, and this corner is as far as we can go. But the thing I don't like about this position is it limits what I have to cover and my ability to cover as much field as possible. From right here, there's going to be a bench full of players, coaches, officials. You're also going to have a lot of other people hanging on right in this area. So basically the main reason I come to this point of the field to shoot is if there's a kickoff and the ball comes down here, touchback, the ball's at the 25-yard line, I'm going to come right here and get those photos of the quarterback as they drop back to pass. Because if the ball's at the 25, they drop back to pass, they're going to be about the 17 or 18-yard line when they drop back to pass. I'm going to get those photos, then I'm going to hustle down the field. And that's basically all I'm going to get right here. I can shoot action here. Sometimes I will stop here if there's a quick change of possession, a fumble or interception, and I need to get to the other end of the field. I'll run down here and I'll stop and shoot what I can. But again, I'm so limited. Basically, from here over, I have no access to this field because there's so many people right here. Now again, if you're shooting high school, there aren't going to be as many people here. But generally, the only reason I come right here is if I have to because of a change of possession, or mainly to get the quarterbacks dropping back to pass, those standard photos of the quarterback. On a side note, talking about getting the quarterback, make sure if it's a right-handed quarterback, you're on the side where they open up. If it's a right-handed quarterback and they're like this, yeah, sometimes you can see the face and you can see the ball, but generally you want to know if it's a right-handed quarterback or a left-hand quarterback, you want to shoot them when they're opening up, is what I call that. So they drop back to pass, they open up, and you've got a face, a body, the ball, a lot of things going on. And I'll shoot horizontal and vertical of both of those to make sure I've got the quarterbacks covered for the game. Well, there you have it. My 3 preferred shooting positions for football. And that's regardless of what level of play it is. I treat a youth football game just like I treat a major college or professional football game. I approach it no differently. And so I wouldn't know why anybody would approach any football game differently. But there's so much territory around this field. You've got a ton of options. You need to just assess what's best for you and what your needs are, who you're shooting for. Is it parents? Is it the team? Is it a wire service? Is it a newspaper? You need to know what your client and who you're shooting for needs from the game. But those are the 3 positions that I prefer. If you have thoughts on this, please drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. And I appreciate you watching this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you like it. Thanks for watching and happy shooting.